The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Well, Virginia Union is a very formidable opponent. I say we've got a great running back, was 250 pounds, very explosive. We got big offensive lineman up front, quarterback that's 6'5". Got a receiver, I think, that last week 163 yards or something like that. So defensively, they're a very athletic and strong football team. They got the Rover there that's up for All-American, preseason All-American, who's a great athlete, but there's plenty around him that way. So it's a very athletic group. It's a very physical group. They want to run the football just like we want to run the football, so it'll be one of those kind of games.
What about the preparation for this? You gave the kids the weekend off, get a little rest in preparation for another long road trip.
Right, and it's the good part is it's only 6 hours, maybe a little less. It'll seem like a walk in the park to our kids. We're excited about going to Richmond. We've got a great plan on travel where we're going to work out and those kind of things, and be in the hotel Friday afternoon or Friday evening. But we're just anxious to play. It's when you come off of a game that like we had last Thursday night. You want to get all of that out of you as quickly as you can and get ready to play. And in football, the hardest part is they're going to make you hold it for a week. You can't play 2 days later like some sports, and you just got to get ready to line up and play. And we've got corrections that we started on yesterday. We had the kids come in yesterday afternoon, and they came in with a great attitude. Had a little workout last night with them, and they responded well.
What is the mentality like after a loss like that? Or what do you get the sense the mentality is in your team?
Well, I think it's when they look back at the mistakes we made, and the key mistakes were penalties, and that part of the game, we gave them a touchdown. It cost us a touchdown. It kept some drives alive for them. It gave them field goal opportunities. It took us out of field goal opportunities, and when you start adding them up, anybody can play this or that. But I'm telling you, in football, it's just like it was in the games last season. It gets started off right this fall with us. Those 2 or 3, 4 snaps in there make a difference in the ball game. Now, your kids can look at it and say, this is what we should have done. Well, we didn't get that part done. We played hard. I was so proud of how hard they played. All right, and how they played united. You didn't hear any moaning about defense is doing this, offense not doing that, or vice versa, or anything. It was a great united front. They continued to pull and call on each other. I was very, very proud of them how they played. We've just got to take some of those mental mistakes and penalties and take them out of the factor. It's a part of the game that's called discipline, and I thought they showed great discipline in the way they played. But there were some times when that broke down, you know what I mean? You got out of the united mode and broke down and had some penalties right there that cost us a football game.
When it comes down to it, is that stuff that you can put on, hey, it's week 1, or not?
I don't think so. I think it's if you ask me, were we better at this point? Are we better now than we were at this point last year? Yes, we are. All right? We've cut down considerably on some of those things. We're more conscious of it. We've addressed it more in fall camp, and we've addressed it as in if this is what happens, this is the cost, this is the price to pay. But you hate to get to where people play their fannies off and you see a few mistakes here and there cost you a chance to be successful. Now, they should gain confidence from that, because if they made that kind of trip and they went toe-to-toe with West Florida and had the opportunity to win, we didn't get it done. Now, that just means, hey, tighten up the ship a little bit tighter, understand what discipline means. And, it talks about it. We read them a verse out of the book of James yesterday about, God doesn't cause those things to happen. He allows them to happen. And he does that to test us. And it goes on in that verse, and it talks about blessed are those that endure. Same way we are. Hey, blessed are those that endure. Blessed are those who get ready to play the next week. blessed are those that are going to be a great example for other people, regardless of the outcome. And talk to them about, man, your performance and you as an individual has nothing to do with that scoreboard. If that's ever the case, we're all done for, period, in life. So I don't know if I answered your question there, baby, but I sure went around the curve on it.
You alluded to him earlier, Tobias Taylor, Virginia Union's tailback. You've always been stop the run first. Well, how do you slow down a 6 foot, 250-pound bowling ball?
Wow, well, you tighten up. They're gonna get him the football in a lot of ways. They've got, when you got a quarterback that's 6'5", there's the threat that's right behind him. They like to do a lot of things with him, different ways of getting him the football, different kinds of actions, whether it be the zone, the spread, the power. What really gets you is when they get in two backs back there and they're going to run right at you in power.
Typically, there's a big jump from week 1 to week 2 during the season. How do you go about improving and taking that next step forward?
Well, that's the cliche, Michael. That's what everybody says. You're supposed to have more improvement. I hope there is, and I know there will be more improvement. I think kids' eyes are a little clearer right now about what's got to get done. When you look at that video, it doesn't make you feel real good. But you do that because that's a learning process. You see that, you go, hey, that's not going to happen again. We're going to get better at that right there. Because we got to. The competition keeps getting better and better every week. And, we're going to be in this journey, all right? And we talked about this journey, want to enjoy the journey and where the journey takes us, okay? And for the first 4 out of the 5 weeks, that journey puts us on buses and traveling places. But, hey, it ought to grow us closer together and more united as a football team.
Defensively, a lot of guys played a lot of snaps. I don't know if Brian Bembry came off the field, Antonio Henderson and those guys came off the field at all.
Right.
How do you try to build depth while maintaining the level of play?
Sure. Well, we've done that during training camp, during the fall camp. We've done that. Did it last spring. And you got to do that every day in practice. You got to be focused to make sure kids are getting reps that are going to be there. Any kid out there is one snap away from being the starter. All right. And so that kid has to be prepared. He's got to have game reps. We didn't get as many game reps as we'd like to have on Thursday night. We didn't get enough reps on offense to get that many extras. So that's the part that does concern you. We feel like we got capable people behind those young men, but it's still to get them on the field and let them see what happens.
From an offensive standpoint, you played a couple different running backs. Marcus Williams stepped up. How do you envision working in that running back rotation here in week 2?
Well, we were excited about seeing Marcus step up. Marcus is one of the 2 running backs we had coming off of a season-ending injury. He's been totally cleared to play. And, being totally cleared is fine. But I got to get totally cleared in my heart and my mind as the student athlete. And Marcus has worked hard in fall camp, and I think finally he's said, hey, I'm going to turn it loose and go. I feel good. Everything's all right. And that showed up quite a few times on Thursday night. He's a guy that we want to depend on to be in there as a running back.
You mentioned having to get on the bus for the first 5 weeks of the season. Is there anything that you learned from the first road trip that maybe you kind of tinker with and adjust here for this second road trip?
Well, that's the part that was most pleasing. That trip was pretty close to perfect, okay? How the kids handled it, the stops we made in between to have a walkthrough, to have dinner and move it on. Kids were fantastic. And usually the first trip, that's when you got to start worrying about this and worried about that. I think our older kids helped show and be a role model for some of those younger guys that we took about how it's supposed to be. The people at the hotel came up to me and said, that's the nicest group of young men that's ever been here before. So they handle that part of it right. And I just hope we just keep getting better, knowing that these trips, you want them to be as educational as they can be, but those kids are on a mission. They're going someplace to play football. They're going someplace to show what their work is done. And then you want to get them back on that bus and get them back to home base.
Defensively, your group has really kind of set the tone for the last year plus. Do you sense any pressure being put on the offense to kind of start to set the tone in their own right and kind of get to the same level where the defense is right now?
Oh, I think obviously you do that. I told the kids after the game, I told him in an interview, that's my fault. When we don't score any more than what we scored, that's the head coach's fault. And I think it's a matter of that coming together and gelling a little bit more. We've got kids there that have played, that know how to play. I think maybe that was a great eye-opener for them. I just hate that it cost us what it cost us. And I think we'll be a lot more on that road to getting it gelled and start being a little bit more productive. And in the same breath, you know, we've worked so hard to recruit and bring in people that would fit what we wanted to get on defense. And in the last year, and now you see this year, you see that, hey, you've got what you need, okay? It's not a grab bag opportunity. These are people that were brought in specifically because they were the kind of kids we wanted at Carson-Newman, but they met the needs of being the defensive kids we want. And we're seeing the fruit of that.
How would you grade the passing game after week one?
Oh, the passing, it was awful. Okay, it was awful, and that goes back to one guy. That goes back to me. We were going to do some things out of play action, and I was concerned about protection, and I wanted to make sure that he didn't take any more hits than what he needed to take. And we've got plenty of guys that are very capable about getting some things done, but we were in a mode that we were trying to keep drives alive, you understand, and trying to keep the defense off the field as much as we could. And there's some times in there when, you know, you're thinking, yeah, we could probably do this and ought to take a look at that, you know, it goes back on offense what you and I were talking about. It's what you do on first down. Okay, and the whole key to coaching offense is, hey, what do you do on first down? Because what kind of call you make on 2nd and 5 or 2nd and 6 is a whole lot better than 2nd and 8. And we've got some issues that we needed to work out, and very, very simple things to get done. Started on them last night with the kids. I think we'll be in good shape and ready to go for this week.
Talk about the first downs. 26 plays were run where you had 1st and 10. About a third of them you either had no gain or lost yardage. Right. Obviously, you want the 3 to 4 yards every time, right. But if you had to break it down into a percentage, what percent of plays is acceptable to go for?
On first down, if you're not making 4 or 5 yards on first down, it's going to be a tough day. You know, it's like third down percentage. When it's third down percentage, we think on offense we win if it's 50% or better. I mean, that's just a good old standard right there. So I think the same thing on first down. And, you know, we've got to throw the ball better on first down. We did some Thursday night, but you've got to really be dominant. If you want to be a dominant offensive team, you got to be a dominant first down team. There's the secret.
You alluded to him earlier, but Sterling Hammond, their preseason All-American rover, nickel, however you want to call him, 6'1", 215 pounds, 5 picks a year ago, CIAA Defensive Player of the Year as a sophomore. What makes him tick back there for the Panthers?
Well, I think he's got great anticipation. You know, he's a football player. He sees things and does them naturally. He makes plays because he's got a jump on things maybe other people don't have. Evidently, he studies video well because he breaks on the ball at the right times. He's in the right place, and they put him in a position where he's turned loose to be able to freewheel and make plays a little bit. But he's a great athlete and has been very consistent in his play.
Kind of another weird one. Carson-Newman's never played Virginia Union before, but Alvin Parker, the good doctor, is no stranger. OC at St. Augustine the past 2 years you played them. What sticks out to you about him now as he moves into a head coaching role?
Well, he and I talked back in the winter, and where we needed a game and he needed a game, and it went round and round for a while, and we finally got it. We got it worked out, and I've known Coach for a while, and in other positions, and the people that he's been around. I know he's going home. That's his alma mater, where he's going home to be at to coach. You know, there's when you look at him on video right now, there's a lot of similarities, which they should be. That's how he's coached on offense, and he brought his defensive coordinator with him to Virginia Union. So, you know, he's going to do a good job there. It's he always had kids that were ready to play when he was at St. Aug, and now that he is at home and can recruit the ones he wants to get, I think you'll see that program on the rise.